This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a protest against guns in schools is held in Dunedin following another school shooting in the US. The Invercargill City Council's vision for the city over the next 10 years takes shape. And a new style of smoke detector helps reduce the high number of false fire alarms in Queenstown. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. An eerie hush descended on the grounds of Dunedin North Intermediate yesterday as hundreds of pupils filed in silence from their classrooms in a protest against gun violence. The walkout was led by 11-year-old Angus Fleming with the school's permission to also remember victims of a recent United States school shooting.
Violence this time at that Florida high school.
Following the latest mass shooting in America, classrooms have emptied across the United States. And even in Dunedin, New Zealand, where an intermediate school emptied yesterday morning. At 10 a.m, Angus Fleming rang the school bell, then pupils and teachers left their classrooms and formed this giant circle.
I organised the memory of the 17 students that were killed in Florida last month. We sat 17 minutes in silence in memory of them.
Similar protests against gun violence happened overnight across America, and Fleming hopes Dunedin North Intermediate's action will show people care even this far away.
Thank you to everyone that came out in memory of the 17 students that lost their lives in the Florida shooting.
Each minute was for the 17 people who were killed in the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Florida on February 14th. A selection of DNI pupils agree New Zealand children have it easier than Americans their age.
Pretty good. I think it was a really good idea to think of what they would have gone through in America and how they must have been really scared.
It was pretty good. It had really good reasoning.
We have it really easy in New Zealand with all the gun laws, but over in America it's a different story.
The DNI pupils hope United States politicians could adopt similar gun legislation to New Zealand's. Principal Heidi Hayward says the protest had the school's full backing, but staff took a hands-off approach and had no involvement in its organisation. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
A Dunedin man arrested after a high-speed chase has also admitted to being responsible for a robbery and pleaded guilty to 9 associated charges and 2 charges of breaching prison release conditions. 27-year-old fisherman Joshua Sinclair here appeared before the Dunedin District Court today. Judge Dominic Flatley gave him a 3 strikes warning on the robbery and remanded him in for custody for sentence on May 16. The Invercargill City Council has adopted its long-term plan and is about to begin asking the city residents for their views on it. The plan sets out the council's vision for the city over the next 10 years, and there are some major projects in the pipeline. Sharon Rees reports.
A new home for Invercargill's Tuatara, an extra swimming pool at Splash Palace, and the reopening of Anderson House are some of the key projects outlined in the Invercargill City Council's long-term plan. The council hopes the plan, which was adopted last week, addresses the main priorities of the community and will give residents a chance to have their say.
We've put what council think from the background discussions that they've had with people and the feedback they get on the street, but this is really everyone's opportunity to tell us whether we're right or wrong, and if there's something we're missing, to say, right, you should be considering this.
The plan sets out the council's preferred options for each project, as well as its likely effect on rates.
The projected rates increase at this moment is 3.96, but that's if all the preferred options go through the way that we've anticipated they would. If they don't, that will change the rates increase. It could either go down, or if people want more work done, go up.
She said the biggest cost would be improving the city's underground network of water and sewage pipes.
One of the biggest spends and one of the biggest, impacts on rates has been those renewals in the pipes and the infrastructure networks that we need to do. But other than that, we've got some more fun projects that we want to do as well.
Other projects include a new arts centre proposed for Esk Street behind Wagner Place and sourcing an alternative water supply for the city. While hard copies of the plan will still be available, Council's Imagine Invercargill website is now being used as a platform for people to have their say. Submissions can be made until April 20. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Some businesses and residents in Reefton continue to have difficulty accessing the internet more than a week after rats chewed through a cable, causing widespread disruption. Earlier this week, some businesses were back on dial-up. Dawson's hotel manager, Helen McKenzie, says her home internet was out overnight while service to the hotel had been erratic. Chorus spokesman Nathan Beaumont says the Reefton Exchange had suffered fibre damage due to the rats munching through the cable. A new style of smoke detector is helping reduce the high number of false fire alarms in Queenstown. The number of false alarms in Queenstown is double the national average, but 12 buildings in the resort could have solved the problem. Mina Amso reports.
Fire and emergency officials in Queenstown are praising the newer smoke detector models for being able to reduce the rising number of false call-outs in Queenstown.
We have had problematic buildings in the past that we've worked with, building owners. We've advised them, or at least highlighted the benefit of multi-criteria detectors. Where those detectors have gone in, they've had significant dramatic reduction in false alarms, going down from, in some cases, plus 12 false alarms down to 0.
One of the new kind of alarms uses complex algorithms and can tell the difference between smoke from burnt toast, dust and cigarette smoke.
Another type of detector of what they call multi-criteria detector, which means they've got not only the smoke detection in them, they've got heat, infrared and carbon monoxide, which means they can use all those criteria to detect if there's actually an event going on, if there's a fire emergency going on, or if it's just a spurious activation.
Volunteer fire crews in Frankton and Queenstown have responded to 64 false alarms this year already. In 2017, fire crews responded to 202 false alarms. That's 13 more than that of 2016 and 33 more in 2014. Area Manager for Central and North Otago, Keith McIntosh, says the rise in the false call-outs is very concerning.
The biggest concern about false alarms is the amount of time our volunteers are out of their employment attending incidents that should never have occurred.
Smalls says false call-outs are being triggered accidentally by tradesmen and by fumes from food cooking and burnt toast. He would like to see more of the newer alarms being installed. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, Blueskin Trust looks to address climate change in their local community, and Bluff builds its biggest barge.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air. At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477-1643 or go online to see the services they provide. The Terminus Apartments, where heritage meets modern sophistication and where the past is Dunedin's future. These 1 or 2 bedroom apartments are fitted with modern amenities, room to move and spectacular harbour and city views. Contact us now to have your piece of luxury.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Hi, Lindsay at Alex Campbell Menswear. We have our 3 stores on sale. It's our summer clearance sale. Look at all these t-shirts, 50% off. Look at all these polo shirts, 50% off. Look at all these woven shirts, short sleeves, 50% off. And there's more. Shorts. All these shorts, 50% off.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But wait, there's more. 25% off all our regular lines off the normal price.
FPOS, point of sale and cash registers. Rent, lease or buy. Mobile, FPOS and fixed terminals. Short or long-term rentals. Contact Anything's POS today. 0274 361 474.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Free heart transmission. Please open your heart.
Chi is flowing freely. Chi is nourishing. Chi is loving.
Call Sunny Chin for peace in your heart.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
FPOS, point of sale and cash registers. Rent, lease or buy. Mobile, FPOS and fixed terminals. Short or long-term rentals. Contact Anything's POS today. 0274 361 474.
Welcome back. Climate change and its potential effect on South Dunedin is the subject of a meeting tomorrow, organised by the Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust. Roselle LeBone reports.
Scott Willis is just one of those concerned about the future of South Dunedin. He thinks the suburb and other areas could be underwater unless drastic action is taken.
This shows Dunedin City with a significant, with no action taken on climate change, with a significant sea level rise.
That's why Blueskin Resilient Communities have collaborated with Wise Response, Sustainable Dunedin City, Forest and Bird, Our Climate Declaration and Generation Zero to work towards a collective city response. The proposed purpose of the workshop is to look at the cascading climate changes facing Dunedin, the benefits that can come from collective action and what would be required to sustain collective action over time. These maps show the areas most likely to be affected by climate change and especially by sea level rises.
It's not just the low-lying areas. We've had some issues in North East Valley with the Lindsay Stream flooding. If you remember, a few years ago we had the State Highway underwater when we had an extreme weather event.
We could rein it in to only a couple of metres sea level rise, potentially, over the next few hundred years, if we act now. So this is a choice we have. It's a choice to take action or to continue with the status quo.
Area around Tahuna is actually the lowest in South Dunedin, or even though some of the worst flooding is in fact closer to the hills on this side.
Blueskin volunteer Camilla Cox says as a parent she's fearful of what will happen if climate change is not dealt with today, and what's missing from the conversation are the voices of young people.
I don't want us to keep our heads in the sand until the sand is too wet to keep our heads there anymore. I really do want us to look at the scary thing and say, what can we do and what can we do together, and hopefully move on from there rather than run away from it.
Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
And the public meeting will be held tomorrow in South Dunedin from 12:30 onwards. Bluff Engineering and Welding today rolled out the biggest barge ever built in Bluff, and they trucked it right through to the Bluff port. Sharon Rees reports.
After months of construction, this massive barge rolled out of the Bluff Engineering and Welding workshop today. The harvest barge, constructed for Sandford to use at its Stewart Island salmon farm, is believed to be the biggest ever constructed in the seaside town.
This is the biggest barge, and we believe the biggest thing that's ever been built in Bluff.
It's the 24 metres long by nearly 12 metres wide. It's nearly 80 tonnes. And Bluff Engineering is the biggest thing they've ever built. This is a huge job. This has taken nearly all their staff for about 3 months solid now, plus other peripheral work and plus other local contractors.
Just to get the barge from the workshop to the port is a massive job in itself, with the company having to work around the port schedule and to ensure the railway is clear for the move.
It's a huge job, yeah. There's a lot going on. We have to stop the trains and get a traffic management plan and remove the gatehouse and the fences and coordinate with the port, who've been excellent. And yeah, it's a big job. It's not just getting the truck and drive it over.
The move of the barge caused quite a stir in Bluff this morning, with local school children and Bluff workers on the street to check it out. Bugh said before the barge hits the water, it will be fitted with the latest technology to follow industry best practices.
The salmon stunner that we fitted here will be one of the first in New Zealand, and it's an electronic stunner. It's a big investment by the company in new technology that makes the process better. It's better for fish welfare, it's more efficient and better for the environment.
He said the entire construction of the barge was done by local businesses and contractors, which in turn has given back to the Bluff community. The barge will be lowered into Bluff Harbour tomorrow and is expected to make its maiden voyage to Stewart Island by mid-April. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
What is claimed to be New Zealand's most sustainable guest accommodation opened in Glenorchy yesterday. Camp Glenorchy, about 40 minutes drive northwest of Queenstown, offers guest facilities with claims of net zero energy use. Mina Amso explains.
In Glenorchy, surrounded by the Humboldt and the Richardson mountain ranges, Camp Glenorchy is billed as New Zealand's most environmentally sustainable visitor accommodation. It belongs to American philanthropists Paul and Debbie Brainerd.
I was driving home from lunch in town at the GYC Cafe, and I looked over at the campground in the store, and I was thinking, gosh, someone should give that place some TLC.
At the opening ceremony today, Queenstown Lakes District Mayor Jim Bolt told audience how he enjoyed his overnight stay.
This morning, when I reached for my phone to see what time it was, I was distressed to find it was 8 a.m. And so, I don't know what it is, but there's something about that room over there. I might have to tow it home.
Joining the opening celebration on his 10,000th and last official day as parliamentarian, former Prime Minister Bill English.
It contrasts somewhat with my very first public performance, which was to open the bar at the Dipton Fire Brigade.
Rooms are heated only when needed, and the right amount of hot water is stored for the number of people in each room. Camp Glenorchy has the South Island's largest solar garden and 3 constructed wetlands.
We've got our solar garden, we've got over 600 panels, so we generate all our own energy, and a lot of that goes back to the grid if we don't use it. We harvest all our own rainwater, and we process all our grey water.
State-of-the-art composting toilets are expected to save about 300,000 litres of water per year, and the lighting load of LED lights used for each 3-bedroom cabin is equivalent to a single 200-watt light bulb. The heating system, which uses ground source heat pumps, deep heat bores and solar thermal collectors, means Camp Glenorchy gets almost $4 worth of energy for every $1 it spends to use it.
It's more about educating people. When people go on holiday these days, they want an experience and they want to learn something.
All profits from Camp Glenorchy will go to community projects directed by the Glenorchy Community Trusts. Mina Amso, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, Spanish puppeteers put on a free puppet show with no strings attached as part of the Dunedin Fringe Festival, and we have tomorrow's weather for you.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoai Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.com. www.garador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477-1643 or go online to see the services they provide. 135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Octagon in the central city. These are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477-1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
Active Interior Designer Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products like awnings and umbrellas, and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
I'm not happy with this product demonstration, Ralphie. Oh, relax. It's all about balance. The balance between softness and strength. And my balance is perfect. So we won't fall? Of course not.
Hi, Ralphie.
Oh, hey there. Whoa. You fell for it. Yep, I fell for it. Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust. I'm Cotton Soft on the environment too.
FPOS, point of sale and cash registers. Rent, lease or buy. Mobile FPOS and fixed terminals. Short or long-term rentals. Contact Anything's POS today. 0274 361 474.
Thanks for staying with us. Spanish puppeteers are decorating a street-side window in Dunedin this Fringe Festival with a free show called No Strings Attached. Roselle Lebone has more.
Anna Lorette and Sergio Aguilar are introducing their puppet Paco to pedestrians in Dunedin. He's usually well behaved, though he sometimes asks for money from the children he encounters.
That's his trick, and then when he finishes, he does like that. He bows, and then he is a little bit cheeky and asks for money.
Lorette and Aguilar are here to perform at Dunedin's Fringe Festival in a show which mixes puppetry and classical circus.
The marionette himself, and then it's us two doing like a choreography with the spears, because the story is like, it's like who manipulates who. The puppet is manipulating him to do whatever she wants, and then I'm manipulating him, and we do some acrobacy too at the end.
Originally from Spain and university trained in puppetry and circus skills, they are also performing another show called The Orange Box in the window of the Fringe office at nights, where they use a handmade 11-string marionette. Roselle Lebone, The South Today.
The Dunedin Primary and Intermediate Schools Triathlon was held in Port Chalmers yesterday. The South Today was there amongst the action.
Thursday's triathlon for primary and intermediate schools
featured over 400 pupils from 31 schools. Held at Port Chalmers, the races were split between two age groups, with the older group, who were about 7 to 9 years of age, swimming 150 metres, plus completing a 2.5 kilometre run and a 6 kilometre cycle leg.
Right, just keep left all the way up and all the way back.
Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Hundreds of pupils at Dunedin North Intermediate filed in silence from their classrooms in a protest against gun violence yesterday. The walkout was in memory of the victims of the latest US school shooting. The Invercargill City Council has adopted its long-term plan, setting out the council's vision for the city over the next 10 years. And the number of false fire alarms in Queenstown is double the national average, but a new style of smoke detector is helping resolve the issue in the resort town. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry Stewart. What have you got for us tomorrow?
Hello, Melissa. The Easter rabbit hunt in Alexandra has been postponed. Full details of that in the ODT tomorrow. And yes, it has got something to do with the virus being laid. So
Some
more detail.
disappointment for kids.
Well, I don't know if the kids go shooting rabbits, do they? But they're probably happy that the rabbits aren't
Well,
being shot.
they might like rabbit stew.
Well, true. Anyway, moving on. University of Otago plans a new look humanities division, going from 16 departments to 7 schools. No job losses, so they're just restructuring or reorganising what they have. So DCC is considering how they are going to rate Airbnb owners. So that's an issue affecting a whole range of people throughout the district. So we'll see what the DCC gets up to there. It's now safe to swim at Franklin Bay in the Lake Wakatipu again, but it will be at least another week before warning signs are removed from Lake Hayes. So still issues up there. Queenstown Lakes District Council is also applying for government funding to provide more public toilets across the district. Welcome relief. Highlanders, Crusaders teams have been named for the big match on Saturday, so a few changes in the Highlanders. So
wonderful. So
we'll
something for everyone in tomorrow's paper.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Lovely. And now it's time for tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, taken off paddle boarders on Andersons Bay Inlet in Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a chilly day ahead tomorrow with southwesterly winds increasing, becoming strong to gale force about the coast and frequent showers developing. There is a nice anticyclone arriving on Saturday in time to bring a fine weekend. To the southern outlook, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, you're all in for strong southwesterlies, showers and a high of 12 degrees for the lot of you. To the central outlook, Alexandra, get ready for some gusty southwesterlies and the risk of showers with a region high of 15. Queenstown and Wanaka, you can both expect freshening southwesterlies with some cloud and a high of 14. Te Anau, you have strong southwesterly showers coming your way with a high of 12 degrees. To the northern outlook, Timaru, get ready for some gusty southwesterlies with showers later on in the day and a high of 17. Oamaru, you have strong southwesterlies with showers later on and a high of 15. Amarama and Twizel, you have freshening southwesterlies, some cloud and a high of 15 degrees for both of you. In Dunedin tonight, a few showers with an overnight low of 10, tomorrow 12 and 6, and Saturday 13 and 10. And in Invercargill tonight, showers with an overnight low of 10 degrees, tomorrow cloudy with showers, a high of 11 and a low of 7, and Saturday a high of 12 and a low of 6. And that's our news for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz. Take care, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.